Hi everybody, it's Carol from atourwitsend.com. This is a Facebook Live video on Friday, June 7th. It is 6 o'clock Central Time. I'm going to try, I make no promises, but I'm going to try and do videos once a week or so. Hopefully it's more like once a week, about different things. You guys sort of dictate all of this. What are we doing? What am I talking about? Today I'm going to be talking about what is stress, where does it come from. I'm going to talk about what's going on with the blog, what we're doing, what's coming up. And there's going to be a freebie at the end, so make sure that you stick around to the end of the video. This video is also going to be streamed onto YouTube, so YouTubers, check the comments below. I'm going to put in the description the link to get the freebie. So that being said, what is stress? Where does it come from? From the time that you were young, you probably heard a lot of people talking about being stressed out. Then the moment that you experienced it for yourself, you knew exactly what everybody was talking about. Stress is a part of life, but where does it come from? What is the origin of stress? This is a question that many people ask, but nobody is quite able to pinpoint. If you asked 10 different people where their stress came from, you'll get answers like their kids, family, work, money, especially money. These are common stress factors, but when you really understand what they're saying, these are causes of stress. That is not really what makes you stress. Stress actually comes from it's your body's response to the demands that you put on it. The demands may be physical, mental, or emotional. And when you place those demands on your body, different chemicals and hormones are released into your body, and it makes you feel stressed. Does that make sense? There are some people that believe that stress can stem from your mind. It's kind of a mind over matter thing. This is true to some extent because we can cause stress through worries, fears, and anxiety. We often get into the habit of negative thinking where we can somehow convince ourselves about things that are untrue. For example, have you ever convinced yourself that you aren't good enough, smart enough, pretty enough to do something? I know that I have. Just doing this video, I was stressing out about it, thinking, oh my Lord, what am I going to talk about? My best friend was freaking out with me today, talking about, Carol, just calm down. There's no reason to stress out about this. This is what you talk about all the time. This negative talk creates stress in our own minds. Unfortunately, these thoughts are going on unbeknownst to us because we have come to accept our negative thoughts as truth, even when it's not really the truth. This is why we need to begin to tame our negative thoughts and replace them with positive truths. Stress is a normal part of life, so you'll never be able to completely escape that. What really matters is how you deal with the stress. But we all experience stress differently, hence the reason there is no universal stress treatment. Some of the different ways that people suggest to deal with stress are getting more exercise, using positive self-talk, getting more restful sleep, eating a healthier diet, knowing your work limits, saying no when you need to. Ask for help and then ask some more. Create time for fun. Employ deep breathing techniques. Listening to calming music. Clearing your life of clutter, or keeping things simple. These are all effective ways to deal with the stress in your life. However, you need to remember that the goal is to proactively manage your stress. If you react to your stress, then you'll be spending most of your time putting out those fires. Instead, if you constantly implement just a few stress management techniques, you will live healthier, happier, and a more productive life. Ultimately, the goal of At Our Wits End is to help you find what's going to work for you. I have several different sections on the blog that talk about different stress factors, different causes of the stress. Parenting, your kids drive you crazy. You have a big party coming up. What are you making for food? What's for dinner? I know in my house I get asked probably 50 times a week, what's for dinner? What's for dinner? And Stephen's over here showing, no, it's just 3 times a week. But it feels like 50 sometimes. And my answer is always food. That's what my mom used to tell us when we were asking, what's for dinner? What's for dinner? Mom would look at us and say, food. Well, what kind of food? The kind you eat. Deal with it, kid. So on the blog, there's a bunch of recipes, or I'm working on putting some recipes out there. There's a section about money stress, because we all know that money is the biggest thing that a lot of people stress about. There's a section about helping you learn how to save money, different ways to implement what I'm calling smart money, what you can do to help save money and where to redirect funds to help make your little nest egg grow, or start a nest egg for that matter. There's also a section on there talking about different life hacks and side hustles, and there's a whole complete section about natural and holistic ways to deal with life in general, but especially dealing with stress. I'm a big advocate for holistic medicine. I am not a medical professional, so please do not take anything that I say as the Bible. It is not the gospel truth. It is what I have learned from research and experienced on my own, but it is not in any way meant to be any kind of medical advice. So do your own research and just use what I give you as, a stepping stone. I also have a section on there about weight loss. Right now, that is one of the things that I'm stressing about, because I am significantly overweight. So that is a big stress factor for me. And as I am learning different ways to help me lose weight and implement a healthier lifestyle and stuff like that, I'm telling you guys, because I figure if it's something that I've never heard before, if I've never tried it, then maybe you haven't either. So that's what I'm trying right now. There's also a section specifically dedicated to just stress in general. What is stress? Where does it come from? What are some different stress relief techniques? Is there a special magical aromatherapy thing or something like that. What's new in the world of stress? Eventually, what is going to happen is I am in the process right now of writing a course, for lack of a better word, right now. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like 21 days, maybe 30 days. And whenever that goes live, I'll make sure and let you guys know. But eventually that's what's going to happen. That's what the big plan is to eventually get to this course, to help you learn stress management techniques. So that being said, I guess that brings us to my freebie. So my freebie, if you check out the comments, if I can get a comment to post here, maybe, possibly, okay. So if you click on that link that I just posted, and I'll make sure and pin that comment, ta-da, yay, I'm learning things. If you go to that link, you will get sent a freebie, which will look like so. And what it is I'm calling this a personal reflection exercise. Basically, it's an affirmation. And as we all know, affirmations are little sayings, little things that you talk to yourself about. You look at yourself in the mirror and you say it. And it's basically this belief of if you say it and you put it out into the world, the universe will return it to you. So this is an affirmation, and I am calling it, I do not sweat the small stuff, which I thought was perfect for my first live video. Because that is basically where the tagline for At Our Wits End came from. The tagline for At Our Wits End is don't stress the small stuff. And what it is it's just a couple of paragraphs talking about the fact that you are not stressing the small stuff, because everything is small stuff in the reality of it all. In the big picture of life in general, it's all small stuff. That's one of the lessons that my daddy taught me a long, long time ago. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I need to add a section of things I learned from my dad.
Too big. Too big.
Steven says that it's too big. It'll be too big of a section. Life lessons by dad. Because the man gives you, I don't know about y'all, but my daddy gave me a lot of life lessons. But one of the things that he taught me was to not stress the small stuff. Don't sweat it. Everything is not that big of a deal. There's no reason to freak out about it. In the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? Really and truly. So there's this affirmation that I'm giving away for free. And what I would recommend is that you go ahead and print it out, and down at the very bottom over here, there are 3 questions. They are self-reflection questions. And I would highly recommend that, you print out a couple of copies and you answer one now, and then maybe you use some of the techniques that I teach you, and, you answer it again in a few weeks or in a month or whatever, and see how your answers change. See how you are learning to deal with stress a little bit better. Because ultimately, that is my goal, is to help you. So, I guess that's going to be the end of this live. I don't see anybody online. I was going to do some questions and answers, but nobody's here. So I guess that's it until next week. Make sure and like the video, subscribe to the page. You can follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube right now. And that is just at Our Wits End, WHIT''S, at Our Wits End. And the website is atourwitsend.com. And if you have any questions or anything, feel free to comment on this video, send me a private message, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.